You've heard about PTSD, but your traumatic experience doesn't fit that traditional mold. There was no single catastrophic event, no clear before and after moment you can point to. Instead, there was chronic, ongoing harm that slowly and insidiously shaped who you became over years. This is complex PTSD, and millions of people experience it without knowing what to call their suffering. Complex PTSD develops from prolonged, repeated trauma, especially when escape was impossible or extremely difficult. Childhood abuse and neglect, long-term domestic violence, captivity situations, or chronic emotional neglect during development. The trauma becomes woven into your very identity and development, not just stored as a painful memory you can access. Sign number 1 of complex PTSD. You experience what are called emotional flashbacks rather than visual ones. Unlike classic PTSD flashbacks with vivid visual imagery and sensory details, emotional flashbacks plunge you suddenly into intense feelings from the past without any clear attached memories. Suddenly you feel small, helpless, worthless, and terrified without understanding why. The trigger isn't always obvious. Sign number 2. You experience chronic, pervasive toxic shame that goes beyond normal embarrassment. You feel fundamentally flawed, defective, broken, or worthless at your core. This isn't situational embarrassment about specific events. It's a deep, persistent sense that something is profoundly wrong with you as a person, that you are the problem. Sign number 3. You have significant difficulty with emotional regulation across all areas. You might swing unpredictably between emotional numbness and overwhelming emotional intensity. Finding a balanced, moderate emotional state feels nearly impossible. You're either feeling nothing at all or feeling absolutely everything with overwhelming force. Sign number 4. You have chronic relationship difficulties and attachment problems. You might struggle persistently with trust, with establishing healthy boundaries, with feeling genuinely safe in emotional closeness with others. Relationships feel inherently threatening and dangerous, yet loneliness is also unbearable. This attachment confusion runs extremely deep. Sign number 5. You have deeply negative self-perception that feels unchangeable. You see yourself as permanently damaged, fundamentally helpless, or essentially different from normal people. You might carry guilt or responsibility for what happened to you, even as a child. The trauma became part of how you understand yourself. Sign number 6. You experience regular dissociation in various forms. You space out without meaning to, lose chunks of time unexpectedly, feel detached from your body or surroundings. This protective mechanism that helped you survive unbearable trauma now activates automatically, sometimes in situations that don't warrant it. Sign number 7. You have difficulty finding meaning, hope, and purpose. You may struggle to feel genuine hope for the future, to find purpose that motivates you, or to believe that life can ever be fundamentally different than it has been. The trauma may have destroyed your foundational beliefs about safety, human goodness, and your own future. Complex PTSD requires complex, multifaceted healing approaches. Simple exposure therapy that works for single-incident PTSD is often insufficient. You need approaches that address attachment wounds, identity fragmentation, emotional regulation difficulties, and the relationship damage that ongoing trauma creates over time. Healing from complex PTSD is absolutely possible, though it typically takes longer than healing from single-incident trauma. Many people with complex PTSD go on to live full, meaningful, connected lives after proper treatment. The journey is longer and more winding, but the destination is absolutely worth reaching. Your trauma responses are not character flaws or moral failings. They're adaptive responses to genuinely impossible circumstances that you survive. You made it through. Now, with the right professional support, you can learn not just to survive, but to genuinely thrive. That's not false hope. That's proven reality for many survivors. If you've made it this far, you're ready for real change. Subscribe now and become part of a community that's committed to psychological growth and self-awareness. Every day, I reveal the hidden patterns that control behavior and the strategies to reclaim your power. Your journey to psychological freedom continues tomorrow.